Something truly, literally mind-bending: the biomediated or green synthesis of nanoparticles. Basically, we're exploring how scientists are hacking natural, totally eco-friendly chemistry to manufacture cutting-edge nanotechnology. It's this incredible collision of biology and materials science, and it's a real game changer that's going to impact everything from the medicine you take to the water you drink. Seriously, pause and just think about that for a second. What if we could actually grow advanced nanotechnology using just leaves and water? For the longest time, building nanomaterials meant relying on harsh toxic chemicals, extreme heat, and really complicated physical processes. But what if the greatest manufacturing plant in the world is, well, literally a plant? Today, we're contrasting those old, toxic manufacturing methods with the brilliant simplicity of nature's clean chemistry. Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap. We'll start with nature's nanotech revolution, then walk through the 6-step creation process, examine the dual role of biomolecules, look at perfecting the recipe, and finally wrap up with real-world green applications.
Starting off with Section 1, Nature's Nanotech Revolution.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole shebang. It's the macro view of our biological factory tour. Notice how, instead of using synthetic, harsh chemicals, we're using biological agents as natural reducing and capping agents. It is an entirely eco-friendly loop. You just introduce a biological agent to a metal precursor, allow nature to step in and do all the heavy chemical lifting, and boom, you yield stable, fully formed nanoparticles. So to understand how this actually works, we kind of need to look at the raw ingredients. On one side, we have our biological agents. These can be plant extracts made from stuff as common as your everyday tea leaves, fruit peels, or tree bark. Or it can be bacteria, fungi, or algae. These biological organisms are absolutely crucial because they provide the bioactive compounds we need. Then, on the other side of the equation, we have our metal precursors. This is usually a metal salt solution, like silver nitrate, which contains suspended metal ions. Basically, the biological agents act as tiny little workers that transform those raw metal ions. Moving right along to Section 2, the 6-step creation process. Let's walk through this chronological, step-by-step, linear factory process. In Step 1, we prep our biological agents to extract their bioactive compounds. Step 2, we introduce our metal precursor, that metal salt solution. When these two mix, we hit our big catalyst moment in Step 3, reduction. Right after that is Step 4, nucleation and growth. Then we move to Step 5, stabilization, which is also known as capping. And finally, the whole process yields Step 6, perfectly well-dispersed, biocompatible, stable nanoparticles. Now, let's zoom in on the chemistry of Steps 3 and 4, because this is really the heart of the operation. During reduction, biomolecules actively donate electrons to the positively charged metal ions. So for example, a positively charged silver ion receives an electron and becomes a neutral silver atom. Once they're neutral atoms, Step 4 kicks in, nucleation and growth. Think of this sort of like forming a snowball. The reduced atoms begin to aggregate, clumping together to form tiny nanoclusters, which then continue to grow into full-fledged nanoparticles. All right, on to Section 3, the dual role of biomolecules. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it contrasts the two very different yet completely simultaneous jobs these biomolecules perform. On the left, acting as reducing agents, their OH groups donate electrons, effectively passing the baton to convert those metal ions. But look on the right, they also act as capping agents. They literally wrap around the newly formed nanoparticle like a protective shell, stabilizing the outer layer. This capping is vital because it prevents them from just continually clumping together into giant, useless lumps of metal. It keeps them perfectly dispersed. You might be wondering, what exactly are these multitasking biomolecules? Well, nature gives us an amazing toolkit. Our plant extracts and microbes contain polyphenols, flavonoids, tannins. And yes, actually, those are the exact same tannins found in your morning tea, plus proteins, sugars, enzymes, and alkaloids. Any of these can step up to seamlessly perform both the reducing and the capping functions we just talked about. I mean, it's incredibly efficient. Which brings us to Section 4, perfecting the recipe. Because, just like baking a cake, you can't exactly just throw a bunch of ingredients into a bowl, cross your fingers, and hope for the best. We have key optimization parameters. These are the specific, trial and error dials that scientists have to carefully turn to make sure the nanoparticles form perfectly.
We have to balance the pH level perfectly on that 0 to 14 scale. We've got to control the temperature and the reaction time. We also have to dial in the perfect extract to metal salt ratio, along with the initial precursor concentration. If literally any of these variables are off, the whole chemical reaction could fail, or the nanoparticles might end up the wrong size or shape.
Finally, let's hit Section 5, Real-World Green Applications.
The whole reason this green synthesis method is spreading like wildfire through industries is because of its massive macro benefits. It is non-toxic, sustainable, and super cost-effective. But crucially, it offers high biocompatibility. That means human bodies are far, far less likely to reject these materials in medical treatments. Plus, since it utilizes renewable resources, it is incredibly easy to scale up from mass manufacturing. So, the crucial point here is how this actually translates to the real world. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of these applications. In the biomedical field, we are talking about targeted drug delivery, cancer treatment, antimicrobial therapy, and biosensing. Because they're biocompatible, they are absolutely perfect for medicine. Over in the environmental sector, they're being used for wastewater treatment, breaking down toxic dyes, and removing heavy metals. And in other industries, they are completely revolutionizing food packaging, cosmetics, agriculture, textiles, and sensors. Nature's utility is just wow. It's truly awe-inspiring. And get this green recipe, totally not a one-trick pony. Scientists have successfully applied this exact biomediated process to a diverse range of metals. We can now reliably produce silver nanoparticles, gold nanoparticles, iron oxide nanoparticles, copper nanoparticles, and zinc oxide nanoparticles. Each of these unlocks completely different properties and applications across all those vital fields we just discussed. So, to wrap up everything we've unpacked today, here is your big takeaway. Biomediated synthesis utilizes nature's own chemistry to produce nanoparticles in a clean, safe, and sustainable way. It offers this highly promising, incredibly biocompatible alternative that is rapidly making toxic, conventional, chemical, and physical methods a total thing of the past. Nature has, quite literally, handed us the ultimate manufacturing blueprint. Which leaves us with this one final thought. We have seen how extracts from simple leaves and algae can reduce and cap metal ions into highly advanced, cancer-fighting, water-purifying nanomaterials. If nature's chemistry can build this level of nanotech today, what in the world will it build tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions and keep learning.